Hello, my name is April H. Yeager, and today I'll be talking about Dharma Unveiled, a guide to aligning with natural laws for fulfilling life. We'll be doing a quick overview of the introduction and definition of Dharma, a brief history of Dharma, the importance of Dharma, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who's affiliated with transcendental meditation and a deep approach to Dharma, the different levels of Dharma, natural laws of Dharma, Dharmic journaling, following the Dharmic path, and what are the results of Dharma before we conclude. As an introduction to Dharma, I really want to point out this beautiful quote by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Dharma is a principle that guides us to live in accordance with the laws of nature. To follow your Dharma, listen to your inner self, act with compassion, and align your actions with the highest values. This will lead you to fulfillment and happiness. There's a long, rich history of Dharma, but Dharma stems from the Vedic culture and is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita of the great philosophical text of India. Dharma has been passed down through many different cultures and influenced many different religions and spiritualities, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jain traditions, and has even impacted different aspects of religions like Christianity, Islam, and all secular religions that we find today. There's great importance of Dharma. But Dharma serves as a guiding light, a mirror, reflecting the essence of our existence. It flows like a river with its banks, shaping the course of our lives, providing structure and direction. Just as the shore cradles the sea, establishing harmony between land and water, Dharma defines the boundaries within which we can thrive. The thorn of a rose, while protecting the delicate bloom, reminds us that the beauty often comes with necessary safeguards. By adhering to these principles, we cultivate inner peace and foster a balanced connection with the world around us. In the wisdom of Vedic philosophy, Dharma embodies our duty in the righteousness, encompassing the moral values and ethical obligations that guide our actions in alignment with cosmic order. Embracing Dharma allows us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and purpose. Now we have an idea what Dharma is. It is our societal path. It is the duties, the rights, the obligations. It's our moral principles, our ethical standards. It's our desires, our dues, our wants. It's what we strive for, what we go after, and what we live through. But where did Dharma really start coming into the American scene? How did Dharma become popularized here? Well, we have to start with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was a very notable spiritual guide from India. And in the 1960s, he gained some fame for bringing transcendental meditation to the Americas and to the rest of the world, and really helping the people understand the importance of transcendental meditation. And one of the importance of this is to actually be able to truly live out your life in a fulfilling way that's going to help you on both a spiritual level and a practical level. It's extremely important that we understand that Dharma itself has no particular originator here in our world history. It didn't stem necessarily from one person, but more of a philosophy, a Vedic way of living that did originate from India, but has been seen to be demonstrated all around the world. It's a beautiful thing. When one follows their Dharma, you can see them light up. Their path just seems with ease. It's a beautiful flow that allows them to find harmony with all walks of life, and they don't tend to stumble when things don't go their way, as they seem to flow more with the river of life, and when there's a rock in the way, they just move around it. Many of us find ourselves clinging to the rocks, clinging with resistance, and we find ourselves embracing Adharma, which is quite the opposite of Dharma. I think that it's really important as well to understand that there are many different levels of Dharma. It's obvious that there's the individual level. This is the personal level, your unique path that's built for you, your responsibilities, your talents, your attributes. What can you offer the world around you, as well as that deep experience that you have with yourself? And to truly have this individual Dharma, one must experience self-awareness and a deep level of acceptance for the self, the good, the bad, the ugly, because sometimes those struggles are part of our Dharma. Sometimes the times that we fail allow us to learn enough to keep going and have a win. It's really important to understand that everything in life falls on a spectrum like a rainbow, and Dharma is in that same spectrum. We have our individual Dharma, and then we have our social Dharma. Now, our social Dharma it really relates to our responsibilities that one has towards the society and the world at large around them. From their own internal bubble with their friends and family, to their community, to their career, to their state, their nation, and then the world at large. And this isn't just what do you do and what do you buy, because what we buy, where we spend our money, our money should be in our morals. It's so extremely important to understand that every action we take, every thought we have impacts not only us and our inner world, but the world around us. And social Dharma is all about connecting with what is best for the world around us. And then there's the universal Dharma. And universal Dharma is, again, it's aligning with the greater laws, the greater existence of the cosmos. It's that connection of all life, the interconnectedness that brings harmony and peace onto a global scale. And you can really only have this through embracing the different aspects of social Dharma. And some of these aspects of social Dharma definitely include education and having a higher consciousness education like MIU offers. I'm totally just amazed at how different it is going to two universities at the same time. One being a higher consciousness-based education like MIU is, and then the other being a standard Americanized education system. The difference of learning how much more I'm able to take in and actually be able to utilize it in my everyday life. It's really improving my overall potential, and then the potential that I have to give out to the world. And TM has been a core part of that, being able to start my day and then go in midday with transcendental meditation before and after my studies, and really balancing that action to that stillness, having the time in transcendental meditation, and then having the time of implementing what I have learned and instilled within my own being into the world. And we can do that through many different ways. I'm lucky enough to be able to do that in a way that really gets to impact people in a very hands-on approach through massage therapy, yoga, breath work, sound healing, life coaching. We get to choose to a certain degree what we get to do with our education, what we get to do with our career, but ultimately it is our Dharma. And when we are aligned with our Dharma and getting the education that is aligned with our Dharma, we are then able to go out into the world and utilize our knowledge and implement it in the best ways necessary to impact the world at large. And another great way to do this is health and wholeness, and making sure that you are choosing your health care appropriately. We have a westernized standard of healthcare that is simply not cutting it, and many people are not able to fully have the best health that they're capable of having, which limits their own potential. I am very lucky to be at MIU and studying integrative medicine and Ayurvedic medicine and yogic philosophy, higher consciousness, positive psychology, and being able to implement this into my own career as a health professional. I can't believe the impact it makes on me whenever I see somebody coming in and they're hunched over and in pain, and they leave after a nice relaxing massage session feeling like they can stand up straight and their muscles are relaxed, and the joy that brings to my heart to see the glow and spark within them. And when it comes to how we choose our path, often we have to choose too based on how can we provide for ourselves. The economics of the world really have a big grip over this Kali Yuga age, where we have to rely more on the material aspects of reality to just make basic survival needs. But it is also very important that we prioritize well-being over money, and this is a core principle and practice of Maharishi, and that it's just extremely important to make sure that you choose that path that's best for you, but you're not burning yourself out to the point that your well-being gets affected just so that you can have a higher state of materialism. The public administration is also an extremely important part of social dharma, and I'm sure since this is an election year, here being 2024, and there's a lot of internal and external conflict in the world of America here, as people are either satisfied or dissatisfied with the results of the elections. And I can see how peace, growth, and fostering a sense of overall well-being is an essential part of public administration, and the world at large does tend to rely on their public leaders to help really supply this for the world. So it's extremely important that we choose our leaders wisely, and that we incorporate this dharma into the way we lead our world, so that everything seems to go in a good order and nothing at all ever falls out of whack, where the people feel like the governments aren't representing them in their overall well-being. And this also can be incorporated into how we feed our people in the agriculture. It is so important to have healthy, clean foods, clean, free from pesticides, and clean from herbicides, and clean from GMOs and different chemicals, and offspraying from chemtrails. It is so essential that we make our food, number one priority, to be sustaining, to be nourishing, and to be clean. Without clean food, we cannot have the proper vessel to be able to really embody our potential and live out our dharma appropriately. And it's important that people stand up and we communicate this. And communication is such an important aspect of social dharma. I can't say and stress enough that if we do not speak up enough to make sure that the people are persuading the world's dharma, that more social dharma, that then we could fall under, and we have fallen under, a corrupt leadership at many times, and where the communication has been diluted and has been contaminated and corrupted to where it's hard to even trust the media. So we have to realize that dharma is like a weaving pattern that's threading through all of these different aspects of reality, and communication is key, because if we don't speak up, we won't be heard, we will be left in the dust. And it is important to realize the potential, both good and bad, and that it is our duty as the people, our social dharma, to speak up, and with our votes and with our money and with what we eat and with what we wear, so that we have an utmost relationship with our web of administration and public leaders and communication centers and the FDA and the different types of administration that runs our world for us, because even though we get to control our own basic bubble of our lives, if our leaders are corrupt, that falls into the social dharma that can impact us. And really, where do corrupt leaders come from? I would say it comes from lack of consciousness. And lack of consciousness seems to happen when there is lack of spirituality, lack of religion. And it's very interesting to me that Dharma is shown in all religions, from fostering deeper prayer and unity with Christianity to aiding and the enhancing of spiritual experiences in Buddhist and Hindu and Jain and even Native American experiences. Dharma is so essential when it comes to that spiritual aspect, because our spiritual Dharma is really ultimately what it's all about, to be able to align with that true spiritual path that is meant for our highest potential, to be able to lead the path of life that is going to bring us and the people around us in the world at large to the path of pure consciousness, cosmic consciousness, where we can all be at peace and harmony. We can see how Dharma, through history and through architect and through the defense systems and wars, goes through different time periods. It brings me back to the Kali Yuga that we are in, this Iron Age, and how our architecture has even changed. I believe in sacred geometry, and I believe in the power of shapes and sounds and vibrations, and the principles of harmony, and how we should really design and plan accordance to our own growth and our both practical growth and our spiritual growth. And if you look back through history, if we look back to the ancient Indian temples, if we look back to the Greek and Roman cathedrals and their temples and their different ways of building and design, it creates and excites the sense of awness within. And now we have these square houses, these row houses, things looking so similar. It's like we're losing the Dharma of really embracing the full creativity, and that a home doesn't just have to be a place to live. A home could be a place, a business could be a place where you have the design set up to increase the potential, the radiance of the space, offering the utmost healing through the frequency and vibration created through the shapes and the architecture design. And this can bring peace within. Sitting in a temple, a space of beauty, actually can bring a sense of contentment within the heart that you just don't get when it's just white walls and a square build. Now, that brings us to the defense system, both the defense system of how we handle our military and the country at large, but also the defense system in the sense of how we handle our own criminals. And if you look at how we're handling our own criminals in this country, it's very sad, because we are treating them as if they are an enemy, locking them away in places that do not actually aid in healing our growth. And I believe that it is our social dharma to be able to incorporate into these prison systems a space where we're going to be able to really help to heal these individuals that we call the criminals of our society. if we can find a way to educate and heal them through spiritual guidance and practices like transcendental meditation, through education of understanding positive psychology, through healing past trauma and acceptance, through having the right tools for mental health and nutritional health, I believe that we would have a much better world and a lot less returning criminals to the system. And it goes to how we reflect the world at large. Wars do not need to be occurring when we can have different types of communication that can allow these great obstacles and conflicts to be just, there has to be a better way. If we can sit down as a nation to nation and find ways to communicate through peace, maybe two nation leaders could practice transcendental meditation together, or some sort of practice that helps them feel a connection, a sense of unity. We could regain our strength. There are many programs for the veterans and for people who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, or even going over to war zones and practicing transcendental meditation in active war zones like the Sudis do. It is just amazing what these practices can do to help bring about a sense of peace and calmness and heal our nation from these war-inflicting diseases. It is so important for our social dharma to have good political common sense, political science, so that we can resolve tensions, so that we can create true positive political change, so that we can have a persistence against global challenges, finding the proper solutions that can initiate peace and a cultural sense of diversity, a collective consciousness where we can feel the unity at large. Without this, I feel as if the social dharma of the world will keep falling more and more to separateness. It is up to us to rise up to the occasion and create that sense of unity. And I think it starts here in 2025. I believe it's so important to be able to really rise up, to be able to create that unity between your neighbors, your community members, different states, different countries. And we can do that through the arts, and we can do that through the music. And there is such a great sense of allowing yourself to shine and express artistically or musically, and tapping into those deep internal resources that is so deep in our soul, which many have trouble because there are these energetic blocks or these mental blocks that keep them from expressing. But the more you align yourself with your dharma, the more you're able to express. And it is through the music and sound, it is through the arts and the communication, the media, that we will find that unity, and that we will be able to have the cultural and human experience of connection and unity. And as we have more of that connection, we will fall more into the realms of spiritual dharma. Now, spiritual dharma is more of a, how do I say this? It is a very individual and unique path towards self-realization and spiritual awakening. It helps you to just feel more aligned in your being and your mission and your purpose. And you find this through practicing spiritual practices like transcendental meditation, like silent breath work, like yoga, journaling. And the more you're able to tap into this, the more you will have a deep understanding of your own morals, values, and beliefs. And with this deeper understanding of oneself, you will have a deeper understanding of the universe at large. It's so important to go back to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's quote, "The more you know yourself, the more you can be yourself. In the silence of being, you discover the truth of who you are. And this is so essential to be able to follow your spiritual dharma, because nobody can live somebody else's path. You can't follow somebody else's dharma and hope to reap the same reward. It's like the poor beggar wanting to be the rich man who's running the town, until he gets to step in the shoes of the rich man who's running the town and realizes the amount of stress and responsibility and lack of even time for self-care and well-being there is. Sometimes time is the most valuable thing that we have. And with our time, we should be practicing acts of self-care, well-being, and spiritual practices that will aid us in our path of enlightenment. But it is so essential that we understand our spiritual dharma and our personal responsibilities and practices that will help guide us on our individual path of spiritual growth and enlightenment. It seems to me that without this, people feel lost. They could have all the money in the world. They could have their dream job, their dream home, their dream relationship. But with lacking the spiritual dharma, that spiritual path of self-realization and a cultivation of higher states of consciousness, people often feel like there's something missing. And you can find that missing piece through transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation can be done for 20 minutes twice a day after you have gone through your transcendental meditation training at a TM center, which you can find at tm.org. It's so essential to me in my path, as I have been a meditation teacher for many years, and I have been on this journey of trying to discover and learn about all the forms of meditation. It wasn't until I actually started to practice transcendental meditation, once I became a student at MIU, that I really was able to tap into the deepest levels of my being, which I thought I had done before, but it just took me to a deep dive like I've never experienced before. And having the connection to our spiritual dharma, which we can gain through transcendental meditation, as well as other forms of meditation and prayer, we tap into our ultimate dharma. The ultimate dharma refers to the highest universal principle that governs all beings and the cosmos. It encompasses the idea of living in harmony with the fundamental laws of nature and existence. It really stands on unity, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life forms. Purpose. The ultimate dharma is about realizing one's true nature and purpose in the grand scheme of life. And transcendence. It involves transcending individual desires and ego to align with the greater reality. It is very important to understand the importance of the laws of nature and dharma, for they will help aid in the alignment of universal principles, ethical guidance, and holistic fulfillment. Alignment with the universal principles allows the laws of nature to represent the inherent order of the universe, and following Dharma means living in harmony with these principles, leading to greater peace and well-being. Ethical guidance is extremely important for Dharma, which provides the ethical framework for individuals to make decisions and act responsibly, ensuring their actions contribute positively to themselves and society. And a holistic fulfillment is essential. By understanding the connection between the laws of nature and Dharma, promotes a holistic approach to life, fostering sustainable living and personal growth for lasting happiness. There are many different laws of nature, but the one that I think most people are familiar with the most is the law of cause and effect, also known as karma. And Dharma is a way of life that leads you to the fulfillment of your karma. When you live in your accordance with Dharma, you create the best circumstances for yourself and others, shaping a positive future, according to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. When we live out our Dharma, it can actually help us purify some of the more negative karma that we've collected. I won't say it's going to make it completely go away, but by really following our Dharma, we will start to realize that some of these things that have happened to us, that we've experienced where we've accumulated some maybe not so good karma, it was part of our Dharma. It was part of our path. I was meant to experience homelessness at a point in my life. I was meant to experience stress and trauma at a point in my life. And at the point that it was occurring, I was in confusion. I felt lost. But as time went on and I lived out my Dharma, the regrets, the shame, the feelings that made me feel so uncomfortable about that time in my life made more sense as I looked back upon them. And I realized that I had to go through those situations to be the person I am today, to be able to help people in the way that I am helping them today. Dharma and karma go hand in hand, and without following your Dharma, you will never be able to really live out and live in accordance to your karma, helping you bring things more to balance. Another law of nature that is important is the law of unity, as we must recognize that our relationship with others and our environment is extremely important, and we want to promote actions that support harmony, cooperation, rather than division. Unity is such an important part of Dharma as it encourages this path. Dharma is all about helping to find that balance in our lives. Just as an ecosystem must maintain equilibrium, Dharma advocates for balance in our lives. This includes balancing personal desires with responsibilities towards others and ensuring that our actions contribute to the overall well-being. This balance also happens in our own bodies, whether we're drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, exercising enough, whether we're stimulating our creativity enough or having enough social relationships. This is all about empowering ourselves to follow our Dharma and to live a balanced being. Law of change is also an essential aspect that is impacted by Dharma, as Dharma teaches us to adapt and respond to these changes with wisdom and resilience, guiding us to remain aligned with our true purpose even as circumstances evolve. As the ebbs and flows of life occur, we must stay aligned with our Dharma so that everything in the universe can stay in a constant state of flux. Change is necessary. The law of natural order is also an essential aspect of understanding our Dharma, as this law signifies that there is a specific order and rhythm to the universe. Dharma aligns our actions with the natural order, helping us to live in accordance with the rhythms of life, which fosters fulfillment and peace and an overall healthy well-being. The laws of pure potentiality also relate to the concept of ultimate Dharma, where realizing our infinite possibilities is a part of understanding our true nature and purpose. And the law of giving and receiving is highlighted as well, as it is important as to gain that balance in interactions, which aligns with the ethical dimensions of spiritual Dharma and promoting generosity and compassion. We must make sure that we give as much as we receive. When we receive more than we give, it will create an off balance that will make a relationship or situation feel one-sided. The law of least effort is extremely important, as Dharma should be effortless and with grace. It should be able to flow like a beautiful stream. As we align with our true purposes, our actions become more fluid. Life just happens more with ease. Then there's the law of Dharma itself. This law explicitly states that everyone has a unique purpose, which is the essence of spiritual Dharma, guiding individuals toward their specific contributions to the world. The path to Dharma is a beautiful path, and going back to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, as he states, as the wheels of time move, as moments are passing, we must find the link between our individual life and the force of evolution. As this force of evolution gets strengthened more and more in automatic manner. And if we have created this automatic gear, we are really switched on to our Dharma. If we have not created this automatic gear, then that will strengthen the link between our individual and the force of evolution. Then we have neither understood our Dharma nor have place of our life with accordance of our Dharma. That means that we are not following our Dharma. Now, I'm going to ask everybody to go ahead and just grab a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. And this is going to be for after we finish our video. But I just want you to go ahead, have this next to you. And then after the video is over, which will be in a few moments, just find a quiet place. And I want you to reflect on your values, your intentions, and go ahead and review and adjust how you're feeling to maybe how you want to feel. If you find yourself feeling in a negative mood and you're just feeling tired or sick, take some time, close your eyes, breathe deep, connect with yourself. Ask your being to align you with a path that's going to help you feel your utmost good. And then, after you take some time in reflection, go ahead and take 10 to 15 minutes and just journal about your thoughts and feelings and experiences. How to follow your Dharma. A great way to start following your Dharma is self-reflection. What are your passions? What are your interests? What makes you feel fulfilled? What is your joy, your strengths, your natural talents? What makes you feel alive and ready to live the best life? Understand your values, those core principles that guide your decisions and actions. Understanding your values will help you align with your life, with what truly matters to you, making it easy to follow your Dharma. And we can't forget, we must explore and experiment. Taking time to really explore different paths is so essential. Try some new activities. Volunteer at a local organization or engage with the various fields of interest. I like to make music or art, or even just go dancing around my house while I'm cleaning, going for a jog, anything to just change my mindset from one to another to help align me with more of my higher potential. By experimenting, we will explore and provide insight to ourselves that might help us resonate with what we like and what we don't like. Listen to your intuition. It's so essential to listen to that gut feeling and to make sure that we're really doing what is our true calling that's going to bring us that sense of purpose and fulfillment. And we can do this through setting intentions as well. Setting goals and intentions can help us really define what we want to achieve and how to plan and align our actions with our purpose. Practicing mindfulness is so essential as well, and I do this daily through different forms of meditation, including transcendental meditation, breath work, sound healing, yoga, and my overall daily routine. It's just so essential to stay grounded and to be able to be self-aware as we move through our path, as we follow our Dharma. And we also must remember to take action. Action is an essential step of living our Dharma. This means we must actually pursue what we desire, pursue the new career, the engaging creative project, or the contribution to your community. Pursue those thoughts that come to your mind which so many just feel like are a fleeting thought. But if you have that thought to make that song, or you have that thought to write that poem, or you have that thought to go volunteer at your local organization, flow with it, act on it. And we must stay open to change. Staying open to change is so essential for all the life experiences, so that we can shift our perspectives to what is most important, and that we can remain flexible and adaptive to growth. And when times get tough, we must seek a guidance. You can seek a guidance from a friend, a family member, a mentor, a spiritual teacher, or even to your community at large. There are great networks now, even online, for seeking support. But you need to have that team, that supportive system to encourage you and help you gain more insights and help you navigate on your path for Dharma. And always take time to reflect and adjust to your reflection. Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel aligned with your Dharma? Are you even happy? Make sure that you are listening to yourself and then making the necessary adjustments. Maybe you're too tired, get more sleep. Maybe you feel fatigued and not getting enough strength. Look at your diet. Maybe get more exercise. Maybe you don't feel like you have enough social interactions. Find ways to create and get out into the world looking for the right social interactions. It's just so essential for following these steps so that you can cultivate a deeper understanding of your Dharma and live a life that is aligned with your true purpose and leading to a greater fulfillment, happiness, peace within. There are so many beautiful results of following your Dharma. First off, the inner peace. I can't describe what peace I feel, how much joy I feel in my life, that sense of calmness that just washes over me through most of my day, and the fulfillment that I enjoy. I literally sometimes dance and sing after I'm finished a day of work because I love what I do so much. The sense of fulfillment is so strong that it literally moves me through any obstacles I may face. The contributions to society that you will make when you're following your Dharma will so positively impact not just the bubble around you, your friends and your family, but the community and the world at large. We may not see our impact, but I know that whenever I massage a stressed out single mother and she goes home to her kids when they get, after picking them up from school, she's going to be in a much more relaxed state and being able to have a much deeper connection. And that deeper connection with those kids means they're going to have a better sense of stability within and higher potential for themselves and for their education. One small act of kindness can lead to a great butterfly effect that will echo such beautiful goodness out to the world, which will allow us to all have better positive relationships. As we adhere to the ethical principles fostering trust and harmony in relationships, we will increase our connection to others. We will have a deeper understanding, empathy, compassion, and acceptance for those that we surround ourselves with, which will enrich our lives and those around us. And in conclusion, when we open our awareness to being, then we are opening our awareness to the home of all laws of nature. When we are quite at home with the home of all the laws of nature, all the laws of nature works for us spontaneously. Because of our awareness is open to them, they are no more foreign to our consciousness. And when the laws of nature are no more foreign to our consciousness, every impulse of our consciousness, every desire of our mind, every activity of our senses is spontaneously supported by all the laws of nature. This is how we open our awareness to being. We are strengthening our relationships with the force of evolution. Laws of nature work for us more and more and more. When our awareness is quite at home with being, when being is permanently established on the level of our awareness, then spontaneously every impulse of our awareness, every impulse of our mind, every desire of our every emotion, every understanding, every activity of the intellect, mind, heart, ego, everything is upheld by the force of evolution. Therefore, by meditation and action, we meditate and act. Thereby, we are following our Dharma, that which will sustain us in increasing degrees of progress through support of all the laws of nature. Therefore, the trick, the technique to really create a situation within us that spontaneously we will be living our Dharma is meditation. And take it easy. Meditation and action. Beautifully said by the great Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. We must continue to go from meditation, that deep state of transcendence, to action and fulfilling our purpose in life. And as we fulfill our Dharma, our purpose in life, we will find ourselves in alignment with the natural laws. As Maharishi emphasized, that Dharma represents the path of righteousness and is inherently aligned with the laws of nature, ensuring that individuals live harmoniously with the universe. Personal responsibility. He taught that following the Dharma involves taking personal responsibility for one's actions, encouraging individuals to recognize their duty towards themselves and society. Spiritual growth. Dharma is seen as a crucial aspect of spiritual development. By fulfilling one's Dharma, individuals cultivate higher consciousness and connect with their true self and universal peace and harmony. Maharishi believed that when universal peace and harmony can be met when individuals adhere to their Dharma, they contribute to a collective sense of peace, balance in the world, fostering a more harmonious society for all. It is so essential for me to fulfill my Dharma, and I hope after listening to this presentation on Dharma Unveiled, a guide to fulfilling life of peace and harmony, that you also have the drive within you to fulfill your Dharma and live out your true life purpose. Thank you. I hope you have a very beautiful day. Haribol.